So, and it's after doing the research, then you can start thinking about, well, it's time to get over to Schopenhauer to meet Solveig, your mentor, who
Yeah.
is a vampire who is quite old, and so you have an idea he has blood potency 6. So he is one more blood potency, and he will no longer be able to feed easily off humans. He will have to start thinking about feeding off of vampires. So he's kind of at that border, right? So,
But
um,
are you saying Solveig? Or
yeah,
because that sounds, but that's a not that's not a male name.
I thought it was a male name.
No, it's a female name.
Well, that's too bad. He has a female name because that's cool. And because I chose the name because it is an ancient Swedish name and it means
It is,
sun, the power of the sun,
yes,
which is just right for us. So
it is.
maybe he adopted that name. And I mean,
I
and
think
and I certainly don't expect you to criticize the gender choices of, you know, anybody in a
that
vampire
was
game.
okay
That's
in
that's flat out.
2011.
We are all about mixing the message here.
Yeah,
Okay,
I,
so
I, I'm
in that
backing
case,
off.
Henna, sorry, you have been left out. Are you? Is Ansa hungry? Do you want to coordinate with your retainer? Do you want to do some investigation or to contact Hans? What would you like to do?
I think I could, send um, some kind of like link to the news with
Ah,
the news.
mm-hmm.
No explanation, just a link.
Excellent. Now we do not have smartphones. I think we have crappy phones. Well, they were amazing at they
there are
it was
smartphones.
amazing at the time. So,
Yeah, I think I had the worst touch screen
oh
phone like
no.
ever. Like it's so bad. Like it doesn't like. I tried it later, and it's not like like where I'm pushing. It's not like doing anything. It's taking somewhere else. And I don't know, but whatever. Maybe I have something like that, but like I guess I don't know. Like I could send it
you can. You can
via
just
email or
barely, yeah,
something.
just barely enough phone possibility to send a link. Just enough. Okay, so
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I have good enough phone, so I'm
right.
doing it with my phone, but yeah, I don't know, like if I'm sending it like to email or whatever. I don't know, like no, I'm sending like normal email to
Okay,
normal email, and that's the link. It doesn't have even any like the topic.
right, right.
It's just like just the
Excellent.
link.
Okay, so Hans, uh, the you're not really in a perfect place right now for receiving an email. Your fangs are buried in somebody's neck, and so therefore you are a little bit distracted. I don't know when. I mean, you probably do want to communicate with Ansa pretty soon, right? I mean, to go and she's supposed to be. No, you would be communicating with Nora. Am I confusing myself?
Or with me, I said,
Wait, wait,
and
wait. Who is who? I'm screwing it up.
I am me.
Right, that's right. It was Ejdesh and Ansa. So you would not be contacting Hans. You would be contacting Ejdesh. So much, much easier. So,
Okay,
um,
same thing but different recipient.
correct, correct. Okay, so that leads us, of course, then to the question of whether Ejdesh is going to do any feeding or whether Ansa is going to do any feeding.
From my point of view, do I need that? Because I haven't spent anything, everything. It's been a fantastic, expressive evening and so on.
Well, I am going to be
So,
just a little bit pushy here because I would like you to
as
look
you
at
can.
your disciplines and see which of
Yeah.
those disciplines might have been useful or important during this entire project.
Yeah. Uh, and that is Auspex, and
Ah.
I would probably use it as like on not only myself. If I can do that, I will. I mean,
How many
I'm
dots do
trying
you
to.
have? How many dots do you have?
I have two, so that's not very much.
Oh, it's better than nothing, that's for sure. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and look at our Auspex situation. And I would like to say, in many ways, the book is very beautiful, but I am not happy with their choice of using that little cursive, graceful script for
No,
the headings. I want big, thick, readable headings in very big letters. And so I have to
that
squint.
tradition in the vampire
I know, yeah.
literature. Too.
So, anyway, so I am just going, Auspex, yes. So you did not need the beast's hackles, but uncanny perception. Yes. You for the art to work. Um, the first
Yes.
use in a scene is free. Oh, that's so annoying. No, you need more than that. You need one to carry out this. So you have already spent a point of vitae to focus on the layers of lies and misdirections that this city secretary, has been covered in, so that the truth of their identity is revealed in the artwork. That's why it's so punchy, is because your Auspex has captured their soul, their wretched, shriveled little bourgeois soul has been revealed.
Use obfuscate. It's obfuscate like hiding stuff or hiding
Yes.
that stuff. And Auspex is like dragging
It's awareness.
awareness. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
this.
and I would probably use both.
Yeah.
So bring it on.
Okay. Well, the first level of obfuscate, it does not cost any vitae, so you are fine with that.
Yeah.
And that's all you need. So that's all right. Just so you are dropped down 2 vitae now.
Yeah.
You are at 8.
Yes.
And the question is, you are going to feed?
Yeah.
Do you have either feeding grounds or herd?
I have a herd. I have my herd with
Your
me.
herd is the crew?
They are.
Oh, it's all
Yeah.
one. Okay. So
Yeah,
his group
so
of
it's like this is.
you are like the Juggalo vampire. You have this crew of clown mask wearing graffiti guys that you go and have strange, violent parties with all over Malmö. Okay,
Yeah,
so
and I'm probably not saying anything because I'm not the big charismatic.
Right.
I'm the make it that I'm. So I'm in the shadows, all moving around and whispering in their ears. And,
yes.
And painting some of it on myself, and then suddenly I start
Right.
probably beating on someone.
That's perfectly reasonable, I think. I can't believe I said those words, but that's
yeah.
So therefore,
and the way I see when you have a herd, they have a kind of they have an attachment to me.
Yes. And so it said that you needed to have some interaction with them first, which you have done. And how many dots do you have in herd?
2.
You get 4 vitae, but you can only hold 2. So basically, you drink twice as much as you need, and it's awesome. So,
and everyone's happy.
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely. Yes. This was the perfect night out. Yeah. And after all of this, it's getting kind of close. Probably wondering, what maybe you should have contacted Ansa by now. You have work to do tonight.
Yeah, I would probably, if I know where she or he or no Ansa.
Ansa is female.
Do I know where you are?
I think you know that I live in Malmö, and maybe like even the address. Like I'm assuming we have been working together quite some time. So yeah.
I think I will just with my corpse paint and my heavy. I have this hoodie on it, my black hoodie, and with this corpse painted face. just like casually walking to your residence and discreetly knocking on the door.
As I recall,
And this is close to because I've dissolved the herd. Go
right,
home and
this is
wash
actually in the
yourself.
suburbs, and it's an extremely we are in the suburbs, and is an extremely boring house in between two other very boring houses. And in fact, the three of them are between two other boring houses. So you
That is
get the idea.
even more boring. I
Yeah.
get the idea, and that's an epic, like almost Steven Soderbergh scene,
Right.
like this really big man
Mm-hmm.
that is also very invisible in a strange way,
Right.
with corpse paint
Right.
and a hood, walking up and gently knocking on the door.
Exactly.
And
Okay.
and
And then Odin, I would like to move you, if it's okay, that you have ridden, you have taken the train across Bron, across the bridge, and
Yes.
are arriving in Schopenhamen, where you are supposed to be meeting, probably. Okay, so you are supposed to be meeting Hans, and the two of you may well be just following these vehicles that are supposed to be taking these patients to Helsingborg. So I think there is I think in the north tip of Denmark, there is this little tip, there's a little bridge or something, correct, that goes across? Is that right? Is there a way, or is there a
you,
little ferry there or something?
but are you talking about the tip Skagen? No. In there's a ferry between Helsingborg and Helsingør that is quite as quick as going by the bridge.
Exactly, yeah, because it's not very far at all. So,
No, it's
yeah,
very,
exactly. That's what I'm thinking. So you have to go to Schopenhamen first, and then you have to go up there and get across to, I mean, as following the patients. So that's your plan. So I assume that you will be meeting somewhere. Where would be a good place to meet? For Nathan, can you tell me?
Probably my office.
Okay, okay. So this is not a fancy office, if I remember correctly. This is
It's a functional office in a building, but it's not.
I see. Okay, okay. So it's not
Uh,
an office building like a skyscraper or anything like that.
no, there is too many people moving around. It's more like an apartment.
Ah, I see. Okay,
An office in apartment, yeah,
perfect.
which makes it unsafe.
Yeah. Okay, so let's have the two of you meet. And so we have this German man in his 40s. Everybody here, all the characters, speak their native language, which is German, Finnish, Swedish, and Turkish for the four characters. You also all speak Swedish and German and English. So any communication in those languages across any characters is easy for all four of you. Well, that's for those, not the Turkish. Only Ejdesh knows Turkish, but the other languages you do. Okay, so Nora and you are at this rather busy apartment building. Actually, do you want to continue to use your obfuscate to avoid being seen or noticed?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Um, the only person that may surprise you is a young boy who looks well, actually, infant. Uh, No, no, never mind. Okay, because Nathan told me he was an infant, not a young child. So, okay,
Yeah, I mean less than 2 year old, I think.
right, right. So no, he's not walking around in the middle of the night in the apartment building. So that's not happening.
No.
Okay, so sorry, never mind me, Odin. Nora, go ahead and have Nora arrive. And the the first person that you will the first person that you and Hans are supposed to meet with is Solveig at the first hospital. So that's the plan to go there.
So I was going to together with Hans, and we were going to hospital.
Yeah.
Well, I knock on the. I don't see him around. I will knock on the door.
Like, I mean, we have a meeting. We have a meeting planned.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
yeah, come in.
Yeah.
Come in and close the door.
Mm-hmm. So the two of you, do you want to? Right now, everything seems to be going kind of as planned. So I'm kind of curious about how you interact. Are you conversational or are you creepily not conversational? Right?
Do we know each other?
Sure, you know each other. Yeah.
We know each other, and we both know who we think the coven. And
Yeah. Yeah. None of that is a mystery. We do not have to play how we met.
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to figure out what kind of interaction we can have. If it's like personal friends or more like business.
Well, that's what I'm kind of asking, because it's sort of an interesting of a point, and I'm letting it be kind of up to you. What is your? I mean, it would be sort of creepy and fun if you just looked at each other and don't say a word, right? You know, what do vampires have to say to each other? You know, hi, how's food? Fine. What else do you talk about, right? But on the other hand, it's kind of like, heroin addicts. Their conversations are not very interesting. So,
amphetamist on the other hand is very.
But on the other hand, if you want to have more of a relationship, that's okay with me too. That's up to you.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if I should bring the statue merits here or not. I don't know how it works.
What do you mean?
The statue? The merit statue that is supposed to give you like some statue within the...
A status.
Yes. Okay. That's true. Actually, that's sort of important. I think both of you have status in the Covenant, correct?
Yeah.
So we are colleagues.
Right. So the two of you are actually like you are involved in setting up this experience. So this is more like two executives, not like two messengers, right? Yeah. So that's a good point.
I think the way I will approach that is I'm going to interact with other people regarding what status they have within the coven.
Got it. Okay. So this person is a colleague. They have status. They have. Yeah. You work together. You pay attention to what the other one says.
And lower the status is, less I will care.
Yes, that's your views. Two things to know. You can smell. Both of you are perfectly capable of smelling blood and vampirism. One thing that Nora knows is that Hans is a very potent vampire. His blood potency is high. So that's one thing to know. And then Hans, one thing you know about Nora is that she is the vampire daughter of Solveig and has been actually raised entirely within the Ordo Dracul and its priorities.